Good evening, fight fans. We are at the Ralston Arena in Omaha, Nebraska for Victory Fighting Championship 39, a stacked card for the sold-out crowd here at the Ralston Arena tonight. Good evening, everybody. Matt Kelly alongside UFC welterweight, Omaha native Jake Ellenberger. And Jake, first of all, thanks a lot for agreeing to come out and give your perspective, your commentary on the fights here tonight. A great card. You were just saying that you think, and you've been around Victory for a long time, you fought in the Victory Fighting Championships, you think that this might be the best card that Victory's ever had.
I do. I would have to say this probably, as far as talent goes, is probably the best card that Victory has produced. And, you know, and I've been around the Victory Fighting Championships quite a bit in my career.
Right.
So.
You're very familiar with the gentlemen that are on this card tonight. Your current and former teammates, I guess, Jason Brills, Ryan Jensen, Houston Alexander, they all train at Omaha's Premier Combat Center. When you are in town, that's pretty much your home gym when you're here, and that's where your brother Joe trains. So what fight are you looking to, or maybe one or two fights that you're looking to and forward to the most?
You know, to be honest, I'm excited for the whole main card, really. You know, I've been super excited to see how much MMA has grown in the Midwest, especially here in Omaha. And, you know, the cards keep getting better, and I think, you know, the MMA, the sport in general keeps growing here. So I'm excited to see everybody on the main card. I think there's going to be some great fights tonight. Like I said, talent-wise, this is probably the best card I've seen.
Very excited about the stacked card that we have here for VFC 39. 5 main card fights. 4 of them include UFC veterans. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Victory Fighting Championship.
As a salesman, some days are hard. Real hard. Yeah, right. It's just so easy.
I suppose I should feel bad about shooting fish in a barrel.
And again, I do catch a lot of fish.
At Nissan of Omaha, we're putting stereotypes like this out of business.
The action is at the Fire Barn. At the Fire Barn Sports Bar and Grill, it's all about great food. Sizzling steaks, juicy burgers, Phillies, hot wings, and a kids menu to boot. The Fire Barn is locally owned by local firefighters. Enjoy our unique firefighter memorabilia of local heroes, past and present. Visit firebarnsportsbar.com to see our lunch, happy hour, and daily specials. Visit one of our 3 locations today for great food, great surroundings, and great prices. Fire Barn Sports Bar and Grill, Waterloo, Omaha, and Papillion.
We're back at the Ralston Arena in Omaha, Nebraska, and we are set to kick off our main card here at Victory Fighting Championship 39. The first of our 5 professional fights is in the light heavyweight division, as Matt Uhde brings his 3-2 record in from Missouri to face hometown favorite Joe Baudler. Joe is looking to even his professional MMA record at 2-2. Matt Kelly alongside UFC welterweight Jake Ellenberger. And Jake, we are underway as Baudler and Uhde touch gloves.
Yes, I'm definitely excited to be here. And one of the fights I have been looking forward to is this one right here. Joe Baudler, Matt Uhde. 2 gentlemen who are a little bit older than the normal competing age, I would say, in mixed martial arts, but these guys are both veterans and have been around the sport for a long period of time.
In his pre-fight interview yesterday that I had with Matt Uhde, he said that you know, he's not going to come in here and try to take Joe down. He's going to come in swinging. He likes to stand. So we'll see what happens here tonight as both gentlemen kind of feeling each other out.
You know, I'm impressed by just the composure both these guys are keeping. You know, very relaxed and very intelligent way of fighting.
Matt Uhde with Joe Baudler up against the cage, throwing a knee. Couple knees there, and Joe just trying to keep Matt from getting the underhooks. Matt with a nice shot to Joe's thigh.
Nice low kick and counter left hook by Joe Baudler.
And true to his pre-fight comments, Matt Uhde not even looking for a takedown. Joe Baudler trains over at Premier Combat Center with Ryan Jensen, Jason Brills, Houston Alexander. Joe Baudler has Matt Uhde down in his full guard, though.
Uhde in the full guard. Joe Baudler on top. looking to do some work, some ground and pound on top. Uhde looking for a Kimura, possibly a sweep from the bottom.
You've gone with Joe a time or two. What's his specialty?
You know, Joe's actually a very well-rounded guy. He's extremely strong. And he's just, one of the things I really have always admired about him is he's a mentally tough, really mentally tough guy.
He says that after UFC 1, him and a gentleman by the name of Steve Jenham signed up to try to fight in the UFC. Steve Jenham got selected and went on to, oh, by the way, win UFC 3. Another Omaha native.
Yeah, he did. I think Steve Jenham was actually one of the first Omaha pioneer in mixed martial arts, and I don't think he's got the credit he deserves. Joe Baudler has been around in training. He's been in the martial arts game since just as long as anybody else in the sport.
Joe Baudler trying to do work on top, and Matt Uhde kind of content to just try to keep Joe's left arm at bay and
looking to get a sweep. Joe on top, he's got the far wrist control, so it's going to be hard for Uhde to defend his strikes with one arm.
But Joe Baudler getting some good strikes in on Matt Uhde, and now taking Matt Uhde's back. Uhde's still doing a nice job of trying to roll Joe over, though. Swung the leg off. Telling him to get his hips back.
Joe looking to stay on top here.
Jake wanting to coach from the broadcast booth, too. That's okay.
I just get excited. You know, the fan comes out of the excitement.
Absolutely.
Comes out.
Joe's corner yelling at him to stand up as Matt Uhde was getting some left hands in there.
Underhook. Yes. Hey.
Joe Baudler with a nice knee in the corner.
Donahoe. Hey, Donahoe. Circle off the cage. Get him on the back.
Joe now on the ground in the corner.
Joe looking to possibly work a Kimura or an arm lock from bottom.
And again, these are 5-minute rounds. The amateur portion of the card, 3 3-minute rounds. These are 3 5-minute rounds on the professional side for those that are new to the world of mixed martial arts. And corner asking him to get up. BJ Donahoe and Kurt Padani in Joe Baudler's corner from Premier Combat Center. Joe throwing some hammer fists from top.
That's one thing too. It's really hard to think, you know, when you're getting you're getting some strikes on the head. It's really hard to think of what your next move is going to be.
Final 10 seconds of round number 1 here. Uhde, Baudler, the first of 5 professional bouts at VFC 39 here at the Ralston Arena. We'll be back with second round action right after this. You're watching Victory Fighting Championship.
Fly into Werner Cycle Works and unleash fury against the elements with top-of-the-line Arctic Cat. Still not satisfied? Throttle up with our full line of Victory bikes and rule the road. Unlike other dealers in the metro, we also offer Victory Gold certified full-service maintenance. Just off 144th and I-80, come to Werner Cycle Works today.
Set for round number 2, Joe Baudler, Matt Uhde here at Victory Fighting Championship 39. After round 1, Matt Uhde with a little mouse under his right eye, and Joe with a, looks like a little contusion maybe over his left eye. What did you see in round 1 that you think either fighter needs to?
Round 1 was a very action-packed round 2. Both guys are really coming out strong. Uhde's looking a lot more comfortable on his feet. He's really throwing a lot of strikes and looking to keep this a striking battle.
And Joe not really backing down at all. His corner's yelling at him to not duck his head down, especially not front ways. And kind of had a slip on the canvas right there. Matt Uhde with Joe Baudler's back, and Joe trying to pull Matt Uhde's arm off. Jim Axtell, big Jim Axtell looking at the action and trying to decide if he should stand him up or not. And Matt Uhde trying to apply that choke. See B.J. Donahoe in Joe Baudler's corner. Joe trying to take off the choke hand of Matt Uhde here. They've been on the ground for about the last minute and a half here of round number 2 of their 205-pound bout. And Joe Baudler getting the arm of Matt Uhde off the neck. So what are you seeing right here, Joe, or Jake, that you're wanting Joe to do?
You know, Joe's really got to turn into him right now and watch the head and arm.
As we're seeing Jake giving instructions from the broadcast booth.
Grab your own leg, Joe.
Chance of Joe here in the Ralston Arena. Joe's had big 6'4", 205-pound Matt Uhde on him for much of this round. And Matt Uhde trying to flatten him out. Trying to get his hand off and turn into him. Jake Ellenberger's wanting Joe to do and pull off the hand.
Yeah, Joe really needs to turn into him right here and really look to control hands right here, 2-on-1, and you know, be able to defend the submission for. First of all, the priority is defend the choke. Second of all would be to turn in and advance your position. It looks like Joe's holding on right now, so he's looking to battle.
So how much does this take out of a fighter? I mean, to do that, and as you say that, Joe gets out. Joe starts to rain down from top.
Nice job. Wrist control from Joe Baudler here. He's looking to strike.
Joe Baudler turns the thing around on Matt Uhde. And Joe coming with the hammer fist from top. Joe with the hammer fist. Big Jim Axtell there checking out the action, and Matt Uhde gets Joe off of his back on top of Joe Baudler there.
Yeah, that was a tough position to be in. You know, when you're really looking to strike and get excited, it's hard to keep position, you know, and Joe, you know, and plus when you're both sweaty, you guys get slippery, and it's hard to control the body.
So again, when you have a big guy like that on you for, you know, probably 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes maybe, and that's got to take a lot out of you to, you know, not only that, but you're also trying to get their arm off you. They're trying to switch position.
Absolutely. You know, Joe's got the underhook here, and he's trying to get up, but it looks like Uhde's trying to mount him and keep position.
Final 30 seconds of round number 2 of this 3-round, 205-pound battle between Matt Uhde and Joe Baudler. And Joe gets out the back door. So another reversal for Joe Baudler.
Looking for a Kimura sweep. Joe's trying to stay on top.
Final 10 seconds of round number 2 here at the Ralston Arena. Joe Baudler looking over to his corner. And we have come to the end of round number 2. So Jake, talk about that round.
A very, very close round. Both guys battling. You know what, and this is going to be the round here that's going to decide the fight.
So after the first 2 rounds, you think it was probably you'd probably say a split? As we take a look at some of the action from round number 2. There's Matt Uhde in the corner. 5 more minutes here to decide this 205-pound battle between Matt Uhde and Joe Baudler, the first of 5 professional fights on the VFC Victory Fighting Championship 39 card here at a sold-out Ralston Arena in Omaha, Nebraska. UFC welterweight Jake Ellenberger providing the color commentary tonight. We bring you this mixed martial arts extravaganza from the Ralston Arena. We are set for the third and final round of Uhde and Baudler.
Third and final round here. Joe Baudler.
Both guys landed
Matt
some
Uhde.
shots. Both guys showing that they can take some punches. And
Wow.
Joe, nice knee followed up by a nice strike as well. Matt Uhde laying on Joe and trying to rain down some shots as well. Joe spins him around, and Matt Uhde still trying to get that second hook in, flatten out Joe Baudler. So what's Matt Uhde looking for here?
You know, Matt Uhde's looking for an armbar here, but Joe's recognizing it, and he's trying to control his own arm. It's a very tough position to be in. Both guys are tired, both guys are sweaty, but you really got to defend the submission first.
So Joe Baudler doing a nice job of getting back on top, but still trying to make sure that Matt Uhde is not able to pull that arm, and there Joe jerks it out. Nice defense by Joe Baudler.
Very good armbar defense by Joe Baudler. He turned around, he's on top now, and he's looking to strike.
Matt Uhde bleeding pretty good in this one as you take a look right there. And Joe Baudler on top, and both men obviously very tired. You can look at Matt Uhde's face from our vantage point right here and just see that he's probably just trying to survive here. And Joe the same, though. It's been a very tough battle between these two 205-pound guys. So Joe, what are you wanting Joe to do here?
You know, Joe's controlling position. He just needs to not give up position here. And I think he's, like I said, when you're tired, it's hard to control and not slip off the back. But both guys are extremely tired, and Joe's been doing a good job of controlling that wrist.
49-year-old Joe Baudler, 39-year-old Matt Uhde doing battle inside the VFC steel here tonight to kick off Victory Fighting Championship 39 from the Ralston Arena. Matt trying to make a quick move, and Joe Baudler doing a nice job still of controlling and staying on top of Matt Uhde. Joe getting some right hands under the armpit of Matt Uhde. Both gentlemen just obviously very tired. We approach the final 2 minutes of the fight, Jake.
2 minutes left here in the third round. I would have it one round going into the third round here. And both guys are tired, and this is when your heart is going to show.
Joe's daughter's across the way in the corner, and as well as many law enforcement personnel.
Nice.
Joe's former co-workers. Joe Baudler doing work inside the VFC steel tonight against Kansas City's Matt Uhde and the hometown Baudler. About 1:20 left in his career, according to him. He says this will be the last fight of his MMA career, and he would love to go out with a victory in front of the hometown crowd, in front of a sellout crowd here at the Ralston Arena. So Jake, a minute left. What do you got to be careful of if you're Joe?
You know, right now Joe's in a good position. He really just has to defend the submissions, most importantly, which he's doing. But you know, as I know, anything can happen. You know, but he's controlling position, and looks like he's gonna, you know, get this round. But it's been a fun grappling transitions to watch here in this third round.
Well, and you know, you can't say that you just got to be careful when they go to the judges, because as you know, and especially in this sport, they say do not let it go to the judges. final 10 seconds coming up here. And we'll see if Joe Baudler has done enough to cap off his mixed martial arts career with a final victory as the crowd on its feet here at the Ralston Arena tonight. And the consensus is that Joe Baudler has done enough to get the victory here tonight. We see Baudler and Matt Uhde, well, exchanging
Great show of sportsmanship here. Both guys extremely exhausted, but they left it all out there in the middle. Very fun fight to watch.
We'll have the decision here momentarily. Jake, just your overall view of that fight.
You know, it was a very close fight the first 2 rounds. Both guys battling, both guys throwing a lot of strikes. It really came down to that 3rd round and who was going to win position and really land more significant strikes. And I think Joe Baudler did that. It was there were some exchanges there in the third round where Joe got swept onto bottom and he stayed on top, but it was he ended up getting the better, it looks like, on that round.
Getting ready for the announcement here, the decision. Let's go inside the cage to announcer Mike Kendall.
Your judges for this bout, 29-28, 29-29, and 29-28 for your winner by majority decision out of the Fire Barn red corner, Joe Baudler.
Huge ovation, what a way to start off VFC 39. Joe Baudler getting the unanimous decision victory here tonight.
1 fight down, 4 more to go here at VFC 39. When we come back to the sold-out Ralston Arena, 2 UFC vets step inside the VFC steel and lock the door. It's a light heavyweight tilt you will not want to miss. You're watching Victory Fighting Championship.
You see, I'm what you call a student of the human psyche.
Are you?
And what it all comes down to is this. People like shiny things. Just dangle the shiny.
Yeah, I know things.
Do you?
Customers are like sheep. You gotta herd them, and then you make them buy that car.
You sell cars to sheep? Well, that's one way to go. Me, I just nod, pretend like I care, and flash the pearly whites. They're powerless.
At Nissan of Omaha, we're putting stereotypes like this out of business.
The Victory Fighting Championship makes this summer even hotter on July 27th with a stacked card featuring 5 UFC veterans. VFC 40 features 2 title fights as Jay Wood puts his welterweight belt on the line against UFC veteran Tommy Spear. And in the main event, Chuck the Reverend Grigsby defends his light heavyweight strap against Houston, the Assassin Alexander. Tickets on sale now at HomePrideTix.com or the Ralston Arena box office. Omaha, Nebraska, are you ready for war?